13th was just any, for me, it was any normal day. It was, I believe, a Tuesday, because on the day before, I traveled to Manila. That was 12. I remember very well. That was the first time I saw Tito Edgar and Tita Chit. And I always remember that day because Tito Edgar was my political opponent at the time. And that was the first time we finally, had a chance to talk on the airport. And to give me a chance to talk more, I invited them for a ride so that I can bring them to their hotel. That's why I don't forget that date, November 12th. So, and the next day, of course, November 13th was a normal day. For me, it was a normal day. I never expected anything. Yeah. Moments before the blast, as I was getting out of the lobby, the reason why I was late was Congressman Pablo Garcia of Cebu asked me to wait a while because he will deliver a speech which he would like me to listen to. So, while Congressman Arnaiz and Congressman Jocelyn Gretchen was asking me to go with them for dinner, I already said yes to Congressman Garcia, and I have to, be with him during his speech. That's why I went out late into the night, and there were a few congressmen left. What I remember when I got out was that Congressman Akbar, the target, was also getting out of the South Lounge, and with me was Congresswoman Congresswoman Ramiro from Osamis, and Congressman Jun Piñol. So we were already leaving. Then the three staff, which I assigned to wait for me in my room, because initially my plan was to go to my room to finish some computer work with my report for the next day. But it seemed that the three, who were all single, by the way, and young, were planning to go to Timog for, a night of maybe beer and, some festivities. So they were smiling, and they told me that the computers are already closed and the lights are already out and the aircon was already off. Short of telling me, cancel your computer work for tonight because we're going somewhere. I told them, if that's the case, then let's go, right? Then going there, Congresswoman Ramiro said, Henry, our Pryde, that's what he called me. I left my bag, I have to go back. So she went back. We're going on to the lobby. We were already in the lobby. Congressman Jun Piñol told me, Pryde, I have to go to the restroom. Kay-kayon ko na siya. So, out siya. So, what I was here, 6 meters to my left was sila Congressman Akbar and his group. And with me was, my group, the three staff that I told you about. Maan, Versi from Shaton, and Dennis, my researcher. As usual, we were our jolly selves. I was teasing them na, kamo ha, inyo kong hostage, inyong gituyo, patay tanan, haron nadili na ako katrabaho, parang manglakaw mo. And they were smiling. Sige na lang, good sir, kaya mo ano may plano and stuff. So we were waiting for our vehicles. I was waiting for mine, and my staff was waiting for their van. We were just, merrily, bantering each other. When suddenly, the next thing I know, super loud blast.
Magandang gabi po, niyanig ng pagsabog ang South Wing ng Batasan Pambansa ngayong gabi. At may report sa pamagitan ng telepono si Roland Bola ng DZBB. Roland, anong nangyari?
Ivan, alam mo, alas 8:05 sa rilo ko nang maramdaman at marinig ng ang napakalakas na pagsabog sa loob nitong Batasang Pambansa. Ako'y nasa tapat lamang nitong main entrance nitong Congress at kami tumakbo kasama ilang pulis ng Station 6 at nadatnan nga namin itong South Wing lobby gate o yung pinaka-entrada, yung kisame nito ay bumagsak na. 3 sasakyan ang nabagsakan yan at kung saan merong 4 na tao ang malubang nasugatan dahil sa napakalakas na pagsabog na yan. Isa nga doon ay si Congressman Henry Teves na duguan at yung kanyang tatlong staff.
I remember I was flying in the air. That, I know I hit the ceiling. Then I was at this form. I was going down. Boom. Then I first remember I broke my wrist coming down, and it seemed that I could not breathe. But everything was dark. No, dark. I could not breathe. I was under something. I could not breathe, and it seemed that I'm feeling na I'm inside an oven. No, parang nasa oven. So I was trying to fight out what was above me so that I can get out. Ang ceiling na dito, the plywoods of the ceiling was, I was under. And I had to get out because I couldn't breathe. So when I got out, I stood up. After a few steps, I fall down. I tried to stand up again, I fall down. Only to realize when I checked my leg, that my leg was already, almost severed. It was really broken, really bad nga. Marag mabili na siya. So, when I saw it, I immediately lied down, put my leg a little bit up because I saw that I was losing a lot of blood, no? So, I was moving, I was moving like this, yeah, like this, trying to check out my staff. So I was calling them, man, Versi, Dennis. Versi and Dennis were answering, sir, nandito kami, ganyan. So we're talking. I told them to relax, please be, because they were already panicking, especially Dennis. He was shouting, calling for his father and mother and stuff. So they, lie down, calm down, because you need help. And you cannot, and he said that, ila pong matiil ko no, we're all severed. So I said, we're losing a lot of blood. Don't move, just try to lie down, put your leg up and relax. And they said, sir, si Man. I was looking at Man from my left, and I remember very well, his head was burning. Gakalayo yung buhok, no? So I said, no way, Man. I think she's gone. Don't worry about that. Kamurang duha. So relax. So I even tried to get my bag and tried to, put it under my head. That I remember very well until help came. And the first one who helped me was Congresswoman Sharon Garin, who was a doctor. Yeah. I was conscious. I was really conscious. I remember in the ambulance, I was telling them to put on the aircon, and they said the aircon is already at full blast, and they were already so cold. And I said, why am I feeling so hot? He said, because you're all burned, your face, your hands, you're all burned up. You must feel hot. And I said, I had hard breathing. He said, because you burned your throat. That's why they had to treat me in the hospital. So I had a hard time breathing also. Of all the pain that I tried, knife wound or any other wound, burning, kalayo is the most painful. If you see this scar, that's why it's pretty rough. So I had an undershirt, cotton, and my barong, right? They say that after the blast, one of the reasons I could not breathe was because the bomb will consume all the oxygen. Okay. Then the detonation will consume the oxygen. So for the next 10-15 seconds, even if you try to inhale, there's no oxygen, only carbon dioxide. So you feel very weak after a few seconds. So I was trying to put off the fire of my barong like this, but I was already too weak. This is, siguro ganyan. So I was watching myself burn, and I couldn't do anything about it. That's why this part is pretty rough on my left side. When it happened, I did not think yet if I will survive or not. But during the hospital, when they already told me that we're sedating you in a short while, we'll bring you to the operating room, we have to operate you as soon as possible. You're losing a lot of blood and this and that, and you have shrapnel in your body. And they said that, of course, when we sedate you, you will be unconscious. That was when I was saying that, will I wake up? Will I wake up or not? Will I wake up or not? And of course, you know, at that time, there's nothing you can do. All you can just say is, you know, I hope I'll be given another chance. And lo and behold, they continued sedating me. I was in an induced coma. Eh. So, that was November 13. Siguro I got out of my induced coma December 16 or 17. So I was basically sleeping for a month. Yeah. I was feeling bored and I didn't want na if I go back, because they told me to go back by August. I wanted to go back right away. Even if I was on a wheelchair. I said, if I go back in August, they might have done so many things already that I will be out of touch. Or projects of mine and other projects of the local, you know, district, I might not be able to fight for it and I will not know what will come in or what will not. So I wanted to make sure that I am still on top of my work. But at the time, I went in for 3 days, then I will rest for 11 days, then I'll go again for 3 days, then I'll rest again for 11 days. That was what happened. So every 2 weeks man, I went to duty for 3 days. Then I came home and I took all the rest of the days off to completely rest because those 3 days were really tiring. Because you know, I could not do a lot. At the time our hands were sticking. I could not hold a spoon. I could not clean myself. I could not even hold the newspaper. Everything you do is really a chore. So just that one day is already too much work for me. It was already exhausting. So that 3 days was good enough, and I rested for the next 11 days so that I can make it to the next 3 days. In terms of my work, of course, it did. In fact, some of my businesses privately suffered because of that. I was not able to see it, you know. But in general, after it happened, it made me more patient. Slowing down and being patient are two different things, right? Before I was very aggressive. Before that bombing, I woke up, starting with my HTCI days. I woke up at 4:30 or 5. I jogged. At 6:30, I was already having breakfast with some of my people meeting. At 8, I was in the mill. Up to 7 in the evening. At 7 in the evening, up to 11 in the evening, I was ready with my AVT group, my personal business. So I slept at 12. I woke up again at 5. Monday to Saturday. Then on Sunday, I had a meeting with my grandfather to report about the mill, Sunday morning. So virtually that time, my break was only Sunday afternoon. No? That was really my schedule. And if someone in my group, especially within my car, complained, we had a box of vitamin E, Kirkland. I said, inom ra mo diya, ano di mo ka po yun. Ana. And I was also impatient. No? This is what I mean by what happened after. After what happened, I learned to be more patient. I learned to be more calculated in my decisions. If I see something, I breathe 10 times first. I think about it really well. Then I decide. Before then, if I go to a place and I had a flat tire, I'll be angry already because I'll be late for that event. But after it happened, when I go to a place and I have a flat tire, my way of thinking is, maybe may disgrasya sa unahan and my flat tire will save me from that disgrasya. So it changed my perception and of course it made me more patient. Siguro ka ng patience, tungod na atong nahitabo na ako bang katapot akong kamot. And I couldn't do a lot of things. Then when they started repairing my hand, which took about 7 months to finish, I had to learn how to write again, hold the pen, hold the spoon, hold the toothbrush, then do some occupational therapy. And you really need a lot of patience to relearn a lot of things. Yeah. Definitely yes. Definitely yes. As I said, uh, patience gives you better decisions. Patience prevents you from getting angry when you should not have, right? Oh, and physically, there was something eh. Katawa ha? I'm a martial artist. I'm left-handed. My power punch was my left hand, my power kick was my left leg. Look what they did to my left hand, and now my left leg is shorter than my right leg. So, mara ko giingnan sa, di na ka pwedeng manumbag, di ka pwedeng mamatid. So, while I continue martial arts now, for my, health, uh, I don't do much kicking and punching anymore. Yes. I must admit, for the next 2 years, I got addicted to morphine, painkillers, opioids. Grabe to. May yellow prescriptions ko. Oxynorm, Oxycontin, morphine tablets, everything, what have you na ako ato. And I got addicted to it na I could not get out of it. So I promised myself, I said, 2010 elections, 2.5 years after, 2.5 years after, I said, after this election, I leave all my medicines and my recetas. I'll go to the States. I'll sleep and eat and sleep, and I'll ask my mother-in-law to just let me be, to prepare food and put food on the table every time I wake up, then allow me to sleep again. And I did that. Right after elections, maybe 2 days after elections, I was already on board the plane. So when I reached my mother-in-law's place in Jersey, I told him, Mama, I have to get out of this addiction to painkillers. Please allow me to sleep and eat. Ang ako rohangyo that every time I wake up, food is already on the table, so that after I eat, I'll sleep again. I did that for 2 weeks. On the third week, I was already well. When you know that there were some good things or nice projects that you wanted to have done, and at that moment, you can never do because you're stalled in this hospital. It motivates you to get yourself well right away, and it motivates you to hope and pray na, tagaan akong chance ani. Ako itong buhaton. Ano ba? And if I'm given a chance, I really do it. As of now, there are things that I am doing that is just a way of fulfilling what I promised, even if I promised it silently. Na if only I am given a chance, I will really do this. But there's one thing that I have not done yet. I promised to put up an orphanage combined with my mother after that what happened. That's one of the things I have not done yet. But I think I have already been given the chance. Give it a few years. I'll build my own orphanage. A model orphanage wherein I will also be the one to put the daily curriculum so that the products will really be responsible Filipinos. Those are one of the promises that I did silently that I have not done yet. But on the others, I think I already have. Yes. That was one of the things I really wanted to get out of my system, hate. That was one of my prayers yesterday in Sibulan. During my Thanksgiving Mass yesterday, one of my prayers was, get all the hate out of my body. Because for several years, I lived with no hate anymore. And hate is really a powerful feeling that is very negative. It's very negative. So one of my prayers was to get all the hate out. But talking about hate towards those who did it, I have long forgiven them. In fact, in a way, because of the patience that I have now and the new perception of life that I have, these scars don't matter. This matters, and these scars don't matter. physically deforming my body because of the bombing is a small price to pay for the extra wisdom and patience and perception of life that I have now. Definitely. 100%. Right after the bombing, in a few months' time, I already learned to forgive. I got all the hate out. You know, I lived life, you know, in a new way. But as I said recently, a few years back, I had some problems with keeping hatred in myself. But now I've learned to get it out, and uh, in fact, to prove that I have already overcome that, I went to Basilan a few months ago. Basilan, one of the people there in Basilan was the target of that bombing, which caused my accident. And the perpetrators were also from Basilan, right? So, as a statement that all is forgiven and we have moved on, I visited, you know, uh, people in Basilan who were perceived to be connected to the bombing, victim and suspect. I had been friends with them. I tried to build a sisterhood with Basilan and Bayawan City, and hopefully in the next few months we'll be helping each other with our rubber industry, in which we can learn a lot from them. And in a few months back also, I will invite them back here so that people can see that from such ugly incident that we abhor, something good can happen and friendships can still flourish and two peoples can still, be successful and be happy in spite of, the tragedy that started, this relationship. I have this clairvoyant friend. For those who are not very familiar with clairvoyant, it's people who have special talents or God-given, extrasensory powers that they can see what happens in the future. Right. I knew that she was a clairvoyant because way back, she was telling me na, Sir, nakita na ko sa akong gabo nga si Juan, madisgrasya. Kung saan man nila ako, nga ako siyang, I try to stop her, but di siya maminaw. Then we just keep on stopping her. And after a few weeks, madisgrasya good. And then another one po, he said that this guy will go into this incident, and she's so unhappy already, naniwang na siya kay, kabalo siya mahitabo yun, yung mahitabo yun. Okay. That night, November 12, she dreamt that kaming duha, kakuyog.
Gadam ko nga may dakong tao baling ito makaayo. May akong nakita si congressman, may akong giduol ug akong gibitag siya. Natuyok ko, hana iyang lip side nga ani bang iyang kani mugod ni akong gikuan. Mugod ni akong giwiran wala na ako sa buhi. Ningon ko pagsulti na kuan Tagalog man sir, anak man. Anang huwag mong kunin si Congressman Henry Pryde Teves kasi marami pang taong nangangailangan sa kanya. Anak ko, anang nagluhod ko sa iyo, anak ko, ano yan tiil, ayaw ko na kong ilang kuhao. Anak ko tiil nga, wala ko kabalo nga, anang tiil ay wala niya, mo po di na daot, mo. Walang tiil na yan na daot sa. Wala. Wala ko kabalo. Ako kabalo nga, ang iyang tiil nga, wala mo po di na daot. Yan naman, ano yung magong tiila? Yung kumakalimutin ang wag ko ako wala ko kapot anang bata bagi ayaw ko ginanak mga ligot siya makabot ligot na ko ihatag ako ko siyang kuhaon di na ko ipadala ayaw na ko inanak di Nakabalo na ko nga kuan na iya kong giinaan akong tao nga promise ka na ako nga dagot og ka kada 13 mo dagot mo ragot anang mura ko og ganan anang mura ba ko og anang dili ko kasabot sa akong gibati nga mura ko ganang na kuan bagod kay ang akong damgo mura tinuod gud dili gud laman istorya ka nakita gud nako siya kita gud siya nako sa akong damgo na anang ayo na ako siya og halog ba nga ang iyang lip side nga tiil mo puy na ko mao gud na paglimbuyok niya inana na nakita na ko ni usok ba maitim na usok nakita ko Tagalog man dito yung bunga ko gikag Manila na ako ba na may ko ba na ako di dayon sa ipukaw ko gud sa ipukaw nana
Sino nga naman kang Juan? Si Juan, si Congressman yung nagikuha. Si Congressman yung nagikuha. Sige, sige, kukuha. Basta tulog ka tao nga, dahil ko yung nagikuha. Siya, ganam, guro ka. Siya, dili. At nakita na ko sa kong labgo. Mga ito si Bulan. Pero kung may sutis na, kung matos si Bulan, at 3 a.m., they were already in the street, waiting for the series to come. Ano ito si Bulan. In fact, napo ko yung mga wiga, nakita sila dito nga, tiksin ba mo dire? Karoon namin nakita ninyo. Hindi siya, wala ra, madagkot ra. So, dagkot sila, nang-ID sila. So, pagpauli niya, ang iyang feeling, okay na. I made the deal na dagkot ko, iuli. So, yung feeling, okay na to. Kaya na may sabot. Not like her other premonitions na may tabog yun. Then, it happened that night. So, she cried and cried. And from that day until I came home, she went to Sibulan every day and lit 13 candles. Until I came home. Pagpauli na ko, ang una niyang giling akong tiil. Pagkita niyan siya, kining tiila kay hapit na butol, muni last na akong naguntan.
Unang ako gud siya sabihin lang. Kung niya nalipay gud kung dako. Wala ko istorya ka niya pagmuhilak sa tubangan na rabay ang mama na po yung papa. Kung niya ano na mo gud na makapil bakag inana. Ulag dili ni mo di ba ni mo matakos na imong kalipay ba na. Natuman imong pangandoy natuman na. Natuman na gud akong pangandoy. Kung kanang ako kung saan ni Lord nga akong gipungan si Kuan ano Sir Henry natuman ko.
And after that, every June 13 and November 13 and other 13 days when she's available, she goes to my house at 6 in the morning and tells me to go to Sibulan to light a candle. And if mayin ko niyang dili ko kaadto, mga siya ako 13 pesos. Kaya yung galit of 13 candles, kaya yung light para na ako. Ana, and she always tells me, one of these days, magkuyog na gunta sa Sibulan, nga kanang kitang duha gadungan. And it happened last November 13. After 10 years, gitawagan siya ako the day before, niko, nang buboy, aray ako Sibulan Church, alas 6, magkuyog ka. So, that was the first time after 10 years na kaming duhay gadungan, no? Pasalamat.
Nagpasalamat mo ko kayo ni Kuan, Sir Henry, atong higayon atong Lunes. Nga, nag-wish ko, nga ko anang musimba ko ni kung naaragoy time nga anang magkauban ba magsama-sama na musimba dito. Ginatuman na po.
Besides remembering it myself, I also try to, keep it on media because, things like that should not happen again. And I had staff who died. Maan was already a doctorate in UP. Dennis, who was waiting for his bar results. Versi, who was my secretary, who was from Malabuhan, Shaton. Those were all fine people. And, we must give justice to what happened to them. Making people remember that things this ugly should not happen because, it wastes away precious lives of people who could have served, our country more. They were all very good public servants. That's why on occasions like this, I try to make everybody remember so that it will not happen again.